Welcome back to Listen, I Have an Idea. It is the 29th of November today. Guys, we have one day left after today to finish up NaNoWriMo. I finished a couple of days ago. I hit that 50,000 word goal, so I am rocking it. I'm still finishing out these vlogs though for the rest of November, and I'm still going to try to write to see how much I can get up to. At this point, I'm still technically under the word count for my Wordiest NaNoWriMo year. My Wordiest year was in 2018 when I wrote 52,000 and some odd words. I actually only wrote about 50,000 words according to my Scrivener document, but that was back when you still had to verify your word counts in order to win NaNoWriMo. Back then you'd have to compile all of your words and submit it on the NaNoWriMo website, that way they could verify it, and somehow it added an extra 2,000 words to my word count. So at this point I'm still under that. I don't really care if I beat it or not. I'm already over the 50,000, so at that point, anything goes. But I do still want to write a little bit. Yesterday, I was able to finish up chapter 11. I was able to get the couple of scenes that I had written for that chapter. I was able to stitch them together perfectly. I am ready to move on at this point to chapter 12, but I gotta sit down and figure out exactly what I want to write for chapter 12 and how it progresses the story. Chapter 11 really had a turn point for the character, and at this point moving forward, we're going on into bigger and better things, and relationships are going to develop a little bit more, so we got to figure out how to navigate those waters and figure out the next couple of plot lines. I have some pretty big events that are going to be coming up later on in the story, and I just need to figure out how to stitch them all together while still creating a fun narrative to read along with, because if it's just boring day-to-day stuff, chapter after chapter after chapter, waiting until the end of the book to get to the good stuff, that's not so fun. As for today, I have to do something pretty big. This entire year I've been tracking my word progress and how many words I've been writing every single day, and I have not updated for pretty much any day in November. I think it is maybe the first day or 2 days of November. This entire year I've been tracking how many words I have written pretty much every single day, along with how many drinks I've had, like coffee, beverages. Sometimes. This month I haven't really been counting. I've been tracking which story I've been writing on which days, how many hours I've been writing. I've also been tracking my mood while I write, so how the writing session went, how I feel with it, and that's been fun. I also was tracking at the very beginning of the year, before COVID hit, how many different write-ins that I went to. I've been meeting up with a couple of people from my local NaNoWriMo group throughout the year, at least up until March, and I would track how many I went to. I think I went to about 6 or 7 before, well, I went away the week before the entire globe shut down pretty much, and then when I came back, I obviously wasn't able to go anywhere. We are just shy of 80,000 words for the year, and of course, with all the words that I wrote this month, is going to push it way over the edge. We're going to be way over 100,000 this year. Over here is where I have been keeping track of all the words that I've written this month so far. Obviously, the typed ones along the bottom are the daily word goals, and then the written ones in are the words that I wrote that day, or at least the total words that I've written up until that point. So I gotta figure out the math in between each day to see exactly how many words. Luckily, this fun graph right here will help me figure out exactly how many words I've written each day. All right, so this is my yearly tracker. I just use Google Sheets for it. It's basically how I track my words. So let me scroll all the way up to the top and I'll kind of walk you through my process. So here I have the day of the year. We have the total word count for the year, the words written that day, the hours spent writing, what project I'm writing, the breaks that I've taken. Honestly, at this point, I'm not going to be really worrying about that one. This right here is my color-coded chart, so how I am feeling in terms of writing. I figured I would do it on a scale of green to red, and then the pink ones are the ones that I went to the write-ins. So bright green are days I'm feeling fabulous about the writing. Everything is fantastic. Neon green, it's a little bit, or like the lime green, it's a little bit less than that. I don't think I had a yellow day. I don't think I ever put yellow. Then the next was orange, were days I just was not feeling my writing at all. And then red days were days that I just was not enjoying it, which so far I have not had a single red day. If I didn't have a good day or I didn't write at all, it was blue. So those are the days no words were written, nothing was done, it was blue. Of course, we got the coffee beverages, and then each month I went through and I put a total of the words written along with how many hours I have spent writing. So that's, or this right here, sorry, this is my yearly tracker, which I have it pasted throughout, and then down here, sorry, those are the total words for the month. So we got all of January, I wrote 12,000, February, just over 10,000. This is when I did a 24-hour challenge. and it was interesting. I did a lot of words that day. I think I did like 11,000 or something words. March, we did 14,000 words. April, we did 20,000, which is when I participated in camp, and that's why it's mostly green. I end with a couple of non-writing days. May, I did not write anything. I decided to take the entire month off, and that's what I did. June, I had a couple of writing days. I don't know why I went back into 2019's Nano. Interesting. But I've got 5,446. July, 1 writing day it looks like. No, 3 writing days. Just shy of 2,000. August, 13,189. I had some really big writing days that month. September, nothing. October, nothing. November, just you wait and see. I went through and I wrote down all the words that I wrote for each day, excluding today and tomorrow. I have not written yet today, and it's 11:10 p.m., so I got to get writing soon, but I want to fill this in first. All right, so my entire 2020 year, I've written 127,749 words. I'm kind of blown away by that number. That's honestly kind of ridiculous. I wish I was tracking the amount of words that I was writing at the very end of 2019, because if I included those words in this year, that's when I finished up Starstruck, I'm sure that number would probably be over 150,000 at this point. I didn't end up filling in how I was feeling for each day of writing. I think I have to go back and watch my YouTube videos to find out. And I actually think I'm going to add another color in there. I might add a purple one for the days that I went to the online write-ins. I didn't go to a lot of the online write-ins this year, not as many as they were hosting. It was pretty much every other day, and I honestly didn't go to a lot of them, but a lot of the ones that I went to, I stayed for hours and hours and hours and got a lot of writing done. I have yet to update them that I finished the 50,000 words. It's okay. Tomorrow there's going to be an entire day dedicated on the NaNoWriMo Discord. So we'll be good. I will update them then and let them know. All right, I've wasted enough of my time working on this. Let's go and get 100 or 200 words written in chapter 12. All right, I think I did pretty good with that writing sprint. 348 words, pushing us just shy of 51,000. I got quite a ways into chapter 12. I figured a nice little arc that I could work off of, so that is where those words came from. Obviously, there's a lot more left in that chapter, but that's a good start. Okay, let's update the words. Today, we're just going to do words this session. 348, and I do feel really good about those words. There we go. I have no idea why this words needed today keeps doing that. Are they just having the words, like half the amount of those words? I don't know. But obviously we're still well above the 50,000 words, and we are on our way. All right, so like I was saying, I found a nice little transition story arc to start off chapter 12 with. I do have a lot of work left to go in the novel, of course, before it's finished. But being 12 chapters in, I am well on my way to finishing this book. At this point, I'm definitely over the halfway mark in the book. There's still a lot that needs to happen, of course, but I have most of the words written. There are a bunch of words that I am going to be taking out of this manuscript, obviously for the second draft, but I'm just leaving everything in there for now, and I think I do want to change up a little bit in the earlier on timeline of the story. Right now I'm just making it work, but we will see. I've been toying with the idea since like the beginning of the month when I started having problems around chapter 6, chapter 7, that I want to push the timeline up completely so that it's no longer taking place over the like November, Thanksgiving into the Christmas holidays, and I just want to push it pretty much all to the springtime. That's going to be a lot of work though to try to figure out how to do all that with all the words that I've written so far. That's not something that I'm going to be doing this month. That'll come around if I decide to do a second draft of this novel later on. But for right now, I'm just going to work with the timeline that I have set and go from there. Since tomorrow's last day of November, my local NaNoWriMo Discord is going to be doing an entire day of online writing sprints. So I'm thinking I'm going to try to join as many of them as possible tomorrow, see how far I can push it, see if I can go above that 52,000 word goal. We'll have to see though. I have no idea how many more words I have left in me to write this month. But I do definitely know that I want to try to write as much of the story as possible before the end of the year. All right, that is going to be it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching. You will see me tomorrow with my very last NaNoWriMo 2020 video update. So I will see you then, and until tomorrow, happy writing, and let's try to get to the 50,000 words together. Okay, bye. Just woke up from a nap. And look who's napping with me. She's keeping my feet nice and toasty. And I gotta say, my makeup even stayed intact too. Normally my mascara goes everywhere when I nap. But yeah, okay, it is time to write now.